Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another video on Trading Cam. And for this video, it is something very different because as you guys can see from the time frame on the top left, we are trading Bitcoin on a 1 hour time frame, and this strategy works super duper well, and I really hope that everyone will be able to watch through the whole video because this is really one of the more accurate indicators and strategies that I've used. Especially when we're trading on a 1 hour time frame, indicators sometimes do not work as well, but with this set of indicators that I've identified, it is quite accurate and has quite a high win rate for you guys to take these trades. So anyways, before we start, if you guys can help me out, let's hit the like button and also subscribe if you want to see my other content as well. So let's bring out the indicators that we'll be using today. First up we'll be using is the very common indicator. Is called the RSI, which is the Relative Strength Index. It helps to tell when things are overbought or oversold. Next up, we'll be using the wave trend with crosses by Lazy Bear. And honestly, with these two indicators, what you see is that a lot of times the movement is very similar, but there are a lot of things that is different. So I'm going to explain to you guys the strategy and how it works, and then how to take long positions, how to take short positions, as well as how to optimize the strategy itself. So yeah, let's dive straight into this video. First up, I'm going to teach you guys the rules for this strategy. So let's write it out. So the rules is very simple. The first up, what we'll be looking for is that we look on the wave trend indicator. What we see is these red dots and green dots. So whenever there is a green dot, you want to take a long position. Whenever there's a red dot, you want to take a short position. So wait for green / red dot to appear. So you want to wait for the dots to appear, and when the dot appears, it means that the lines is going to cross over. As you can see here, the green line crosses over the red line here. The red line crosses below the green line crosses below the red line here. Green line crosses above the red line here. So you can kind of expect when the green or red dot is about to appear, and usually when the green dot appears, it means that we are going to shift in the upward movement trend, and when the red dot appears, it means we're going to shift into a downward trend. But obviously we want to not only rely on this sole indicator, we want to pair up with the RSI indicator. So next up is when you have to wait for specific criteria. So in this case, you want to only buy when it is below the 30 value area, and only sell when the thing is above the RSI is above the 70 value area. So basically, for long positions, you want to wait for green dot to appear. That is your first condition, and you want to wait for RSI to be below 30, because what it means is that it's being oversold and it is quite a cheap time to buy now. So for short positions, it's the same thing, but except that you flip it around. So short positions, you want to wait for the red dot to appear, and then wait for RSI to be above the 70 range. So these are your two rows, two big rules that you guys will have to follow, and I'm going to show how this strategy works and why it is so effective. So let's look for the long position side and see how this works. So firstly, you want to look for a dot and green dot that corresponds to the RSI being below the 30 mark. So we look here, this green dot does not work because the RSI is above 30. Same thing here, the green dot here, RSI above 30. But however, for here, you can see that we have this green dot and the RSI just went from the below 30 range, even reach to 22 and pop up, and that is a valid position. So as long it doesn't have to be below 30 when the green dot appears, it can just exit from this range, and you can see that we have this sharp climb up, and this is a very strong valid position. And whenever a green dot appears, it will mean that the candle itself will also be yellow in color. So you can just look at the candle being yellow and you take a long position based on that. What you want to do is you want to place your stop loss below the recent swing low, which would be the candle before, and aim for 1.5:1. So there you have a valid position. So let's look for another valid position right here. Here in this case, why this position will sort of not be valid, because the RSI value is too high. Even though it exited from the 30 range, some of y'all might take that trade. But in this case, you can see that although we have this dot here, the RSI value is still remains at around the 35 mark. So as long as it doesn't exceed the 40 mark when it's coming up, it is still fine. Here we have a valid position. You see that we have the value at 30, but unfortunately you become in a loss. But still, it's just a small loss as long as you have above 50% win rate, especially when you're trading on the 1.5:1 risk to reward ratio. It is fine. So let's find another position. So here we have another position. Unfortunately, we end up into a loss because of this week out. So we have 3 trades, ended up in 2 losses. So not very good in the time to go long right now. So let's look for another trade. Here we have another trade. You can see that we have this green dot formation right here. Very important. Look on the RSI. It is below 30. So that is a valid position to go long right there. Stop loss right below. And a 1.5:1. So here we see that we took 4 trades, 2 wins and 2 losses. So we have 2 rewards and 2 risk. So basically, if you are going to risk $100 each trade, 2 trades will make us $150, and the 2 losses will make us lose $200, and we'll be still up a net $100. So as you guys can see, the rules for taking these trades are pretty simple. Just want to wait for the green dot to appear. Wait for the RSI to either come up from below 30 or be at the below 30 mark, and you take a long position based on that. You can see, although the stop loss is kind of weird, if you put it too below under, most likely you get stopped up because the stop loss is too small. So what I like to do is to identify range of support. Right here you can see that we have this support zone, so I would like to place my stop loss below the support and aim for 1.5:1. So now let's go over the short position side, and short positions is basically the same thing, but now we just flip everything around. So now what we want to do is we want to wait for a red dot and want to wait for the RSI to be above the 70 value range. So here we have this red dot here, and we have the above the 70 value range, so we'll take that position. But unfortunately, it ended up into a loss. But we have another position right after. What we see here is you have this red dot and the value is above the 70 value area, so you can take that. Stop loss right above 1.5:1. So 1 win, 1 loss on this short position trade. Let's look for another more trades. Here we have another valid and very nice position. So what we see here is that we have the formation of this red dot. It's coming from the oversold area. Above the 70 area, we'll take that trade, stop loss right above, and we aim for 1.5:1. There we have a valid position. So as you guys can see, the rules for this is pretty simple, and I would suggest now on ways to how to optimize this strategy. Obviously, this using 2 indicators only might not be the best idea because it can be quite sometimes the signals that it give can be quite wrong. So now I'm going to introduce you guys certain indicators that can help to better the strategy. But obviously, whenever you add more indicators and add more rules in, what this means is that the amount of positions that you're going to take will be lesser because there's more requirements that you need to fulfill. And a lot of times this might mean that you guys might take more stupid positions and end up to be having more losses in the first place. So make sure that when you're adding more indicators and you're okay with taking less positions, you guys must be more patient and just wait for the right signals before you take the position to go long or short. So if for me personally, if I have to use this strategy as well, I'm going to add this indicator called the cumulative delta volume. So it's another indicator right here where we help to see whether there is more sellers or buyers. So whenever there's red color, there's more sellers and buyers. Whenever it's green, there's more sellers and buyers. So same thing in this case here, I will only take a buy position when the CDV is green when I buy it, and take a sell position when it's red. So let's see if it will help to filter any of the bad trades here. So here we have this green signal and it's green in color. So we have this green signal and it's green in color here. So there's a valid position to go long. Same thing here. Let's look here. Here we would have missed out on the trade because it's red, so we would not have taken a trade. There will be one less win down. Here we will have taken the trade because it's red, so still the loss there. Here we have taken the trade because it's red, so the win is still there. So let's look at the other losing trades. Here we would not have taken the trade because we look on this right here. What we see is that we have this green dot here, but on the CDV indicator it shows red. So whenever it's red, it means that there's more sellers and buyers, and clearly you don't want to buy that. So the CDV indicator helped to mitigate one loss right there. Let's look at this. Here you still have gone on the trade because it's green in color in the CDV indicator. So obviously the sample size for this is quite small because I'm only using 7 trades, and obviously you guys can backtest with so many of other backtest with a lot more trades itself. You can just go back to past data. Let's say we're looking at the right here. You can see that we have this green dot right below, and we have this RSI right below, type of thing. So you can just backtest with so much of the data that we had before. Pairing up with CDV indicators, you can add moving average exponentials as well. So there's a lot of things that you can try it with. So make sure to test out the strategy, and personally you guys can also use the paper trading function on TradingView. You guys can just paper trade, use fake money, test the strategy out, and just let me know how it works, and let you know how sometimes this strategy might not work so well with you depending on your trading style. And yeah, just make sure to test out paper money before you actually do the thing itself. So anyways, that's it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and see you guys in my next video.